The best one, and usually these people that have considerable assets, they don't have long-term care insurance and they don't want their estate being eaten up by long-term care costs. If you're looking at 5 years and planning for the 5 years and over, and the reason we use 5 years is because of the 5-year look-back period in Oregon, and we'll get into that. So we have a lot of clients, had a couple in today, they're 65, they just sold their business and retired. And they came to me because they want to make sure that they've got everything right and they don't have long-term care insurance. And they want to be prepared in case anything happens. And so we went through their ages, we went through their medical, we went through how long their parents have lived to see how many years we were going to give them. And there's statistics that we use to kind of match that. They're both going to live well into their mid-80s, if not longer. And so they're in a great spot, right? They can definitely plan and make sure that if the contingencies occur where they start spending considerable money on long-term care expenses, that they're going to be able to meet that. So again, it goes back to the same thing. There's always a solution, whatever your circumstances are. You know, I use the word crisis only because that is a circumstance, but it's not the end of the world. Medicaid qualification. And we use Medicaid as a bookend. You may not need it. You may have enough assets that you don't need it. You may have some long-term care. But in the event that your long-term care is going to run out or you're underinsured, your daily benefit rate is less than $250, in that event, you want to look at Medicaid as a backstop. In other words, if things kind of get expensive here, what are we going to do about qualifying for Medicaid? Well, the first thing, there's 3 areas. You got care needs, income, and resources. It's that simple. So the state would look at what the care needs are. And the handout that I've given you, it talks about activities of daily living in there and what constitutes those. If you just want babysitting for an elder, that doesn't count, okay? There actually has to be something like help with getting in and out of bed, help with bathing, help with eating, meds. If there's a cognitive loss and you can't be left alone, that's a big one too. So it has to be something that has some gravity before it's going to qualify as one of those activities of daily living. So as long as it does, the state will say, fine, you meet the level of care that's required to qualify for Medicaid. Any questions about that?